It's February 14th and hearts are definitely going to be racing. You know, passes are bound to be exchanged. And some nifty moves, oh yeah, they'll be made too. Yes, it's Valentine's Day, but it's also a special edition of the Northeast Conference Game of the Week. Tonight, the Torrid Terriers of St. Francis look to come up smelling like roses for the 9th straight game when they take on Sacred Heart. One St. Francis player whose game is in full bloom is Stephen Howard. He lit up UMBC for 40 points on Saturday. So look for the action to be hot and heavy as the Terriers and Pioneers heat up the hardwood next. It's 60 seconds to tip off on the NEC Game of the Week, live from the Pope Athletic Center in Brooklyn. Tonight it's the Sacred Heart Pioneers visiting the St. Francis Terriers. And hi everybody, Bill Daughtry here in Brooklyn with Brad Greenberg and Tim Capstro with all the play-by-play action tonight. Brad, well, it looks like mission impossible for the guys from Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart has to break the Terrier press. They must defend the three, and they need big games from Tim Welch and Marius Kovalukas.
Let's take a look at Sacred Heart's lineup.
Tim Welch is an improving big man with a strong work ethic and a nice feel for passing.
And the Sacred Heart head coach, Dave Bike, in his 22nd year, he's known a lot of success with this program. For the St. Francis Terriers,
Stephen Howard is the reigning NEC Player of the Week. He is Mr. Intensity at both ends of the floor. He has no ego, and he plays to win.
And, of course, Ron Gagnon in his 9th year as head coach of the St. Francis Terriers. Looking forward to bringing you a big game tonight. Should be extremely interesting. St. Francis in control with 8 straight wins, but Sacred Heart, well, they're looking for their first win on the road this season. And we are underway. Greg Nunn taking it right to the iron, laying it in. No rebound, no good. Batted around, and coming away with it is the Pioneers, and a layup down low. It's in and out. See if we get the foul here. Tim Capstraw with our first report from the sideline of the game. Hello, Timmy.
Hey, Bill, talking with Coach Dave Bike of Sacred Heart before the game, he described his team as fragile. He said, Tim, it's not about X's and O's. It's about, hey, being able to handle the tough stretches that occur in any game. Back to you, Bill.
Herb Reyes with the foul. Michael Sandy at the line. 63% free throw shooter. That be an omen of what kind of night we're going to have here?
That's hard to do. To shoot a foul shot and have it get stuck.
Bet you can't do it again.
A squish ball.
Sandy doesn't do it this time, but it doesn't go through the cylinder either, so we're still scoreless here in the first. How about Greg Nunn coming right out of the box, a guy who doesn't take many shots a game. He took the first one right to the iron, no hesitation.
Well, he saw Marius Kovalukas checking him at the outset and figures he's got a chance to go to work one-on-one.
Howard coming off the 40-point game, can't get it to fall. St. Francis with the rebound.
Interesting strategy by Dave Bike. The fact that Greg Nunn isn't a strong scorer, he's put Kovalukas on him, and Reese is playing Stephen Howard.
Well, offensive rebound for Stephen Howard, something he did so much of last game. Now the long ball in and out, no good. Long shot taken by Angel Santana. He's coming off the poor shooting game. Pioneers looking to crack this man-to-man defense by St. Francis. Colin Watson from Mount Vernon. Now the baseline drive and the layup. Good for Michael Sandy, our first points of the game.
Sandy with a quick spin to the baseline on Stephen Howard, able to finish it off. Sandy has got some length, some quickness, and he made a nice authoritative move that time.
Now in the lane, the shot by Reyes, no good, and quickly Sacred Heart comes out running. The drive, and it was Reyes with the good hands deflecting that pass, that attempted pass by Kurt Reese. Take a look at Sandy in that drive.
Quick step to the baseline. May have gotten away with a little hook there, but The quickness works, and Sandy delivers.
Pioneers alley-oop to Watson, and the throwdown is good. Nice pass from Sandy. Nice finish by Watson.
Watson, a tremendous jumper and slasher. If he stays tight to the basket to be productive tonight, he can have a big game. He has a tendency, though, to stretch out and try to knock in some threes. He's got to stay disciplined on offense.
Now Howard down low, double team, shot rejected by Welsh. Now the quick outlet pass, but picked off by Nunn. Great anticipation. Santana, three ball, no good.
Santana still struggling from beyond the arc. Had a horror show from the perimeter against UMBC. Needs to knock one down to get the confidence back up.
Quick look down low to Welsh is good.
Great position inside Tim Welsh. He was too tight on that post-up. Was able to just catch it and lay it in the hoop.
And a good pass from Marius Kovalukas. You'll be hearing his name a lot tonight, I'm sure. Take a look at the early field goals. Sacred Heart perfect from the field. St. Francis misfiring. Howard, he puts him on the board with the three ball. It's a 6-3 game. Howard with his first bucket of the game.
Stephen Howard, we're talking hot, seeing a big basket after a 40-point outing against UMBC. Knocks down that three ball.
Kovalukas couldn't get much on the drive. Now Reese with the three is good.
Dave Bike wants to see Kurt Reese shoot some more. He loves to play make, loves to set up his teammates. But Dave Bike feels he needs some scoring from Kurt Reese.
Richie Dominguez can't get the pop to go, so it's Reese with a long rebound, now working offensively on Nunn. Bodies banging early here. Welsh into the lane. Now the quick pass and the dunk by the trailing Michael Sandy. He's got 4 points.
Welch out of the post, showing his passing ability. Good vision, able to hit a cutting Michael Sandy. Welch has 44 assists coming into this ball game. One of the better front court passers in the NEC.
And for all intents and purposes, the spiritual leader of this Sacred Heart team. As Howard hits another three, he's warming up. He's got 6. Got to get a body on him. Now quickly Reese at the other end, the lay-in, and the goaltend will be called on Dominguez.
Stephen Howard was matched up with Kurt Reese after he knocked in that three, but he came up to set up the press and let Reese get long.
Well, they're throwing down early, and Michael Sandy, he's on the board for the Sacred Heart Pioneers.
For almost 200 years, Mount St. Mary's has been a leader, a college and seminary that still proclaims its values and whose connection with the future is as strong as its ties to the past. So how do you begin to gauge the success of an institution like the Mount? Maybe it's better to consider the accomplishments of our alumni. You probably already know many of these individuals. Mount seminarians that are leading the church toward a new millennium. Graduates who serve their communities by holding public office, and others who spread compassion to the far corners of the earth. Those you don't know achieve success away from the headlines. Individuals who lead our businesses, men and women who educate our children, and those who coach our athletes. At Mount St. Mary's, success is not restricted to chapels and classrooms. National championships, commissioners' cups, conference championships, and even an Olympic gold medal help illustrate the quality of Mount athletics. For almost 200 years, the Mount has represented excellence. America's oldest independent Catholic college and seminary, Mount St. Mary's.
The Northeast Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works. And by RCA, changing entertainment again at RCA.com. And by the Dime Savings Bank of New York. With 127 branches in the greater New York metropolitan area, you belong at the Dime. 13-6 Sacred Heart in front. Let's go to Tim Capstraw.
Well, Bill, Ron Ganulin's biggest fear is coming true right here. He said he's worried if they're going to be ready to play tonight. Let's remember, they got a huge game with FDU on Thursday, but they got to take care of business right now this evening.
Howard with the nice look down low and the lay-in for Reyes.
When you knock down a couple of three balls, the defense comes out at you quickly, and Howard, recognizing the passing angle into Herb Reyes, delivered a nice pass. Reyes finished it off.
Watson forcing a pass down low, and Dominguez with the good hands here, but there were some passes that connected earlier.
Notice everybody rushes out to try to defend that three of Stephen Howard. A little defensive mix-up right there for Sacred Heart. It's Herb wide open over the hoop.
Watson tried to drive on Howard, lost the handle. St. Francis Dominguez now moves it to Santana, and they're going to set up and run that offense now. Now it's Howard with the long jumper. Right side, good.
Greg Nunn with the extra pass, finds the hot shooter. That is smart team play. Greg Nunn has emerged into a terrific point guard this season for St. Francis.
Reese can't find anything, but now on the pass back, his three is off the mark. Rebound pulled down by St. Francis. Nunn looking to shoot again. Now tries to reverse it. Gets it to Dominguez. He's into the lane. Back to Howard. His long three. Doesn't find the mark. And a loose ball foul. Let's take a look at Greg Nunn running this offense here.
He recognizes where the shooters are, recognizes where the gaps in the defense are, and makes sure to deliver the ball to the hot hand.
Second foul on Herb Reyes. And you got to figure, Brad, that later in this game, they're going to have to respect Nunn when he starts to drive into the lane, as he's going to try and put the ball up.
Well, they're playing the percentages guarding Greg Nunn, figuring that he loves to penetrate, but very rarely does he shoot. So they're going to give him some room to drive, try to stay home on the shooters, but your instinct defensively is always to help out on a penetrator.
And here's a steal by Nunn, and he lays it up, his first bucket of the game. The 5'10 junior guard from Inwood, New York, with two to tie this game at 13.
Greg Nunn affects the game so many ways, Bill. Defensively, he is a pest, 94 feet.
Kovalukas jumper no good. Rebound, Reyes battling and loses it to Sandy. The Sandy shot is rejected. And here comes Nunn and the St. Francis Terriers. Reyes ahead, shot no good. He was bumped in the lane. The foul will be on Kurt Reese.
Greg Nunn digging down, getting the ball in the paint, starting the break with the bust-out dribble. Little change of direction, inside-out dribble there, and Herb Reyes. You got to give Herb a lot of credit. He's a big guy, but he's working very hard to get up and down the floor. And Greg Nunn rewarded him with a chance to drive it hard to the hoop, and he drew the foul.
Reyes 58% from the free throw line as he misses in the front end. St. Francis trying to get to their first ever NEC championship game. They are a charter member of this league, but Ron Gagnon hasn't been able to get them that final mile. They've had some pretty good seasons along the way, though.
Yeah, Ron Gagnon has done an outstanding job at St. Francis. They are now perennially a very, very tough team in this conference. And this season's edition has moved their way to second place in the conference right now, with a very, very strong 9-3 record.
Strong move there by Watson, giving the stutter step to shake and bake to Howard, and then fighting through traffic for the layup to put the Pioneers back on top by one. Howard trying to answer, and he's called for traveling.
Sacred Heart has some good-looking athletes, Bill.
I don't know what you might have been expecting
Watson,
here.
Michael Sandy, we're talking about some wing guys with length, quickness, jumping ability. The difficult adjustment all of a sudden going to a full-time Division I schedule, and they've had some growing pains, but
Kovalukas with the drive.
There's another good-looking wing player right there. Kovalukas averaged 12 points a game as a freshman at Central Connecticut. Transfers to Sacred Heart. He's averaging about 12 this season. He's a good-looking player. Very good outside shooter. Reyes
working down low on Welsh. It's no good. One-hand rebound comes down to Deveron Johnson. Johnson, front court, right side, working down low to Welsh. And look at Nunn come from the weak side with the strip. And he creates chaos. And here, the turnover. St. Francis, but he can't control. Kovalukas coming back. 1-on-2, and he traveled.
Kovalukas with a little loose ball pickup right there. Thinks he's got a chance to go one-on-one and create a shot. But again, the quickness, the recovery of Greg Nunn getting back into the play helps force the turnover. Greg Nunn, he's like a little gnat out there, getting his hands into the play so many times.
The Pioneers with 5 turnovers to 1 for the Terriers, and that man with the ball has been a real problem here for Sacred Heart. Still a good game in the early going, rapid pace. Dominguez in the lane, no good, tapped around, rebound to Watson. Hard to believe that this Pioneer team hasn't won a game on the road this year. Kovalukas with the air ball.
A guy who shoots 44% from beyond the arc. Tough to imagine that guy would shoot an air ball a foot right of the rim.
Good look for Gerald Walker, but Walker can't convert. Fouled on the play by Kovalukas. Check that. Tim Welsh with the foul.
Nunn once again head up on the break, spotting his teammates. Gerald Walker, the recipient. That time Nunn has developed into such a good playmaker. Great vision, pushing the ball on the fast break. And St. Francis loves to run, creating opportunities for Greg Nunn to create.
Kovalukas out, Sandy back in. Checking in for the Terriers, Henry Lalane. He's going to get his first action of this game. Lalane, he likes to put it up from deep, averaging almost 8 points a game. Right now, it's time for some free throws. Gerald Walker, 69% from the line for St. Francis. And he gets the roll there. Racehorse pace in this ball game. The substitutions flowing freely as we come up on the midpoint of the first half from the Polk Center in Brooklyn. Bill Daughtry along with Brad Greenberg and Tim Capstraw. An interesting game developing here tonight. And another turnover by Sacred Heart. Now Nunn looking for Lalane. His jumper off the mark. Reyes tries the putback. Pardon me. Britt Ilver with the putback. He was fouled and he'll go to the line.
Greg Nunn pushing the ball the middle of the floor. Ignored Ilver on the left side, but he keeps running. Fakes it to the left, throws it to the right. Lalane doesn't make it, but Ilver active to the offensive glass on the break. Run the floor, you get opportunities, whether you get the initial pass on the break or getting to the offensive glass off a quick miss. Good job by Britt Ilver.
Delvin Johnson, as you saw on the replay, with the foul, forearm to the back, got to push him a little bit. Britt Ilver, you see the numbers, averaging only 3.1, but he can light it up from outside if he gets his opportunities. Now, missed the free throw, but Walker with the good hands on, still another turnover. Now Ilver spots up, three ball, can't get the roll. Dominguez battles for the rebound. Ilver comes away with it, and he got a whistle. He traveled.
We saw the quickness of St. Francis, giving them a couple of second shots.
Well, Ilver, he seems to have a little trouble, but we've got a timeout, and we'll take a break. Sacred Heart by 1.
Hey, moms and dads, the easy way to get your kids to read is Sports Illustrated for Kids magazine. They'll love it.
Sports Illustrated for Kids is a fun magazine.
It's exciting, so they're excited to read it.
Sports Illustrated for Kids inspires boys and girls to have fun while reading.
I like the trivia math questions because it helps me on my math skills.
SI for Kids is filled with a dazzling assortment of fun features that entertain and challenge kids while teaching important real-life lessons.
Sportsmanship, self-esteem.
It really helps the kids learn how to play the game.
Call now and give your young sports fan 13 great issues for just 4 monthly installments of $7.49 each. Save 24% off the cover price. Use your credit card.
Did my SI for Kids come today?
Kids who love sports Sports Illustrated for Kids.
Moms appreciate it too.
Cool.
Call and give your kid the best kid magazine there is. Sports Illustrated for Kids.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Hey, sports fans, listen up. Is your family looking for the coolest thing to do? Then take them to see New Jersey Red Dogs Arena Football. It's a football frenzy with high-scoring killer hits. And a kid's season pass is just $19. That's the best family bargain in town. So if you're tired of the same old thing, we have just one question. Has your family gone to the Dogs, New Jersey Red Dogs Arena Football? Call 888-RED-DOGS today.
It's a 1-point lead for Sacred Heart tonight, but let's take a look back the last time these two teams met late in January. A close game, and a game where the Pioneers had some early injuries. Reese was hurt in the opening minutes of the game, and Watson was hurt later when the game was out of reach, but it's a different story tonight.
Well, they are much healthier and fairly confident against St. Francis. They played them well one time earlier, so they come into this game feeling pretty good about their chances.
Welsh with the good look for Kurt Reese, who took it right into the valley and was fouled by Richie Dominguez.
Ilver goes for the steal. Welch ends up with it and hits Reese. Once again, we see the passing ability of Tim Welch. Has a great feel, has a good understanding of the game, unselfish, and pretty good combination for a 6'10", 285-pound front court player.
Tim Capshaw on the sidelines.
Yeah, Bill, last huddle, Coach Bike was addressing press offense. You know, with St. Francis, you tend to think about three-point shooting and Greg Nunn offensively. But remember, they're tremendous with their full court pressure. Back to you, Bill.
Reese with the free throw. He's already got 6 points in this game, which is a little bit more than this season average. Ilver, 3-ball good.
Ilver stretching out the defense, forcing Welch to respect him 24 feet from the hoop. Kurt Ilver, aggressive offensively so far here in the first half.
He's got 4 points in the game. His season average just a bit over 3. Now with the drive, Devin Johnson, nowhere to go. Looks at Gerald Walker, pulls up, can't get the roll. Put back by Watson, though, it's good.
Watson quick into the air for the offensive putback. Devin Johnson, an aggressive offensive player himself. Here's a guy who gets double figures and prefers coming off the bench.
Now it's Dominguez working down low on Johnson and gets the roll. 21-20 as we continue to ride the seesaw here at the Polk Center in Brooklyn.
Richie Dominguez forced into watching a lot of the UMBC game, trying to make up for lost time today.
Good by Dominguez on the turnover. You had the big man Welsh out at the timeline. He was in an unfamiliar spot, made a bad pass, and now it turns into 2 points and maybe a chance for 3.
Well, I think they got him out front.
They waved him off.
We'll see a little out-of-bounds action. See if St. Francis can score out of bounds against the man-to-man. They're looking for a lob right there. They don't have it. And there's Dominguez trying to get some post-up position.
Lalane travels.
Good defense by Colin Watson right there. Pressuring Lalane into the turnover. Sacred Heart needs that kind of active, aggressive defense to take St. Francis out of their offensive rhythm.
Well, right now it is a clear advantage in the turnover department in the favor of St. Francis, but right there St. Francis committing one that might have them on the downside of the board momentarily. Kovalukas, nice inlet pass, and Welsh can't convert, but he is fouled.
Welsh carving out some space in the paint right there, taking up some real estate, able to catch the pass from Kovalukas and just turn baseline. It's a nice pass. Notice how he throws it to the outside hand, the baseline side. Welch gathers it in and goes up quickly. We're talking a house in there. 6'10", 285.
Over no match. Well, he's 6'8", but only 225. Looked like he got thrown away like a piece of paper there.
Well, a mountain masquerading as a man in the paint there.
Well, he's a pretty good free throw shooter. Well, he could be a pretty good free throw shooter. Only 49% coming into this game. And from the field, he shoots 52%. This is the second here. We're all tied up at 21. Quickly, front court, the drive by Walker, and the shot is blocked, and he's fouled.
You know, Bill, getting back to Tim Welsh, Coach Dave Fike would like to see him be more aggressive around the basket and draw more fouls. Welsh, a bit of a finesse player despite the size and bulk. Likes to pass, likes to shoot the perimeter shot. Has the ability to carve out space inside, and Coach Fike would love to see him be more aggressive, get position, get the ball, and draw some fouls around the basket.
Foul was on Michael Sandy as Walker, a 69% free throw shooter, hits his first one. The substitutions continue to flow. Max Yokono in the ball game now for Sacred Heart.
Ron Gagnon giving Gerald Walker a long look here in the first half. A defensive specialist. Ron wasn't too happy with the early defensive intensity of the Terriers, so he's gone to the bench quickly, and Walker has responded with some aggressive play at both ends of the floor.
Walker's second free throw misses the mark, but His last touch by Sacred Heart, so St. Francis has the ball in bounds now. Good pick set out there, out high by Angel Santana. He draws the foul.
Devin Johnson didn't like the fact that he was going to get a blindside pick and threw it a little too aggressively and picks up the foul.
That's his third, so Devin Johnson will have a seat on the bench with 9:26 to go here in the first half.
Sacred Heart needs to communicate better. Devin Johnson got picked, did not know it was there, and ends up with a foul. You've got to talk on defense. Help your teammate out.
Now Underwood, Corey Underwood, had a fine game on Saturday down in Baltimore. Gets it to Howard. He drives Underwood with the follow. Another put back, and it's good.
The wingspan of a 747 right there. Corey Underwood, long and quick, able to finish up that play. Second shot opportunity, makes his mark quickly into this ball game.
Terriers now with a 3-point lead. The game approaching the fragile stage for Sacred Heart early. Watson with a three that's good.
That was one of those, if your coach is saying, don't shoot that, nice shot.
Quickly ahead, and Santana can't convert. Sacred Heart with the rebound.
Angel Santana is really struggling offensively.
It's an early battle for control here in this game. You heard Tim Capstraw talk about how fragile Sacred Heart can be, and here is where they have to really answer the charge and hang in, because you figure they fall behind early on the road, not going to be much of a game. Sandy with the drive, he's blocked, and we've got a foul.
Quickness once again. Sandy with a strong quick move to his left. Leaves Gerald Walker in the dust. Walker reaches around to try to get back into play, but look at that quickness to the hoop. Walker tries to make the recovery play. And when you're behind swiping after the ball, you've got to make a great play to get away with that. In that case, Walker not quite good enough. Sandy just too quick going to the hole.
Well, he missed that first free throw. Tim Capstraw standing by.
Yeah, Bill, if you watch out on the floor, Greg Nunn is aggressively communicating to all his teammates. He's a real leader on the floor. He's doing everything you would expect from a point guard. Back to you, Bill.
Second free throw for Sandy, no good. Rebound tapped around, and Corey Underwood comes away with it. All tied up at 24 and 24. Nunn working. Cross-court pass, ill-advised, picked off by Reese.
Well, he had a spin dribble and he jumped into the air. You don't want to leave your feet to make passes. Greg Nunn got caught that time.
Now here's Howard at the other end of transition. Can't get it to fall, and it'll be Sacred Heart ball.
Stephen Howard, too fast, out of control, unable to come to a stop and make that play.
We're all tied up on St. Valentine's Day. The Pioneers showing hard on the game of the week.
When cold winds begin to blow and storm clouds start to grow.
With its legendary four-wheel drive capability,
Drive you to despair, just make an angel.
Jeep Grand Cherokee can go where no ordinary 4x4 can. Lease a new Grand Cherokee Laredo for $0 down, $379 a month, and $874 due at signing. Check one out.
On our island, the welcome mat stretches for miles. On our island, not everyone drives on the left. On our island, the locals are very friendly. On our island, your worries aren't allowed. Grand Bahama Island. Come make our island yours.
Call Freeport Lucayan Express at 1-800-7-BAHAMAS.
The 2000 Northeast Conference Basketball Tournament is coming to Trenton, New Jersey. Catch Division I college hoops on March 3rd, 4th, and 6th at the brand new Sovereign Bank Arena. Don't miss your chance to see March Madness NEC style in a pressure-packed environment with an NCAA tournament berth at stake for both the men and women. To order tickets, contact your local NEC athletic department or call Ticketmaster at 609-520-8383. The road to the 2000 NCAA tournament begins in Trenton. Be a part of it.
Game is all tied up. There's Ron Gagnon. Where are you, Tim Capstraw?
Yeah, Bill, listening to Ron Gagnon, he said, fellas, could you please make easy plays? You're way too cute in transition. Could you please just slow down and finish easy opportunities? Back to you, Bill.
St. Francis, the leading offense in the league, but they're not operating like the well-oiled machine. Kovalukas' drive is blocked, and the Terriers come away with the basketball. Quickly, front court, Angel Santana. He kicks it back. That's Underwood in the lane. Can't get it to go. And it hit the overhead basket support wire. So it's going to be Sacred Heart ball.
The Terriers looking to run, but it hit the wire supporting the basket. That's a turnover automatically. St. Francis struggling to get Angel Santana off. He has not gotten any real good looks at the first minute or so, and they need him to be a strong scorer if they want to make some noise come conference tournament time. There's Angel, normally a dead-eye from beyond the arc. Gets up about 10 threes a game, and they count on him to make 3 or 4 every night.
Colin Watson trying to use the backboard on the inbound didn't work, and the travel called right there on Stephen Howard. He's having a tough time getting on track in this game, too. Again, guys getting the ball in positions on the floor they aren't accustomed to, and when that happens, it's usually a turnover, and Sacred Heart has 10-6 for St. Francis right now, but those 6 St. Francis turnovers keeping Sacred Heart in the game, Brad.
Yes, they are. Most of them have been on fast breaks where they've had chances to score. There we see the difference. St. Francis only 6 to Sacred Heart's 10, but when they are on the break, on the move, they've got to make good plays and get shots up.
And Richie Dominguez with the foul on Mr. Watson. Colin Watson, his first action in about 4 games. He's been out with a knee problem, and I think it is time to interject that Colin Watson is a graduate of Mount Vernon High School.
Mount Vernon, where is that?
That's my alma mater, as we have a timeout called on the inbound by Kovalukas. We'll keep it right here. You know, I was talking to him before the game, and I was giving him the old Fighting Knights prep talk. They're trying to get them all pumped up.
I think it's worked. I think it's worked.
Well, we talked about the play of St. Francis over the last 8 games. They've got that big winning streak going on. 3 straight at home, but it was a rocky start for the Terriers this year. Only won 6 of their first 14 games, but then came that miracle shot against LIU by Herbie Reyes, and they haven't looked back.
Well, Herb Reyes knocked in a 35-footer. As time goes by, it's becoming a half-court shot now to make it a little more dramatic, but that gave them a win, started them on an 8-game streak. But you've got to also trace that turnaround, that improvement to the leadership of Greg Nunn. Earlier in the season, he was playing okay, but he wasn't giving Ron Gagnon the kind of defensive leadership and the kind of decision-making with the ball that most people had expected him to do and kind of grown used to him doing it from last year's performance. But since that time, he has turned it up and has been playing spectacular basketball, disrupting teams on defense and making great decisions, pushing the ball on offense.
A quarterback in high school, and now he's a quarterback in college. Only 2 points tonight, but again, he's not a guy who scores the basketball. He's a good assist man, leads this league in assists, but still, he averages 7.9 points a game and is a 51% shooter. He's one of those guys that if you turn him loose in a different kind of offense, maybe something different happens. Here's Tim Capstraw.
Yeah, Bill, look for Tim Welch on this play. It's going to be a back screen. He's going to come back for looking for a lob, and then they're going to play off him. Back to you, Bill.
Well, the lob not there. He's double teamed and now screened out very nicely by Marcel Dimbang, and Dimbang comes away with the rebound.
A little muscle rebound by Marcel Dimbang right there. Pulled it out of Sandy's hands, and then Richie Dominguez going left for the pull-up.
Richie Dominguez, only 4 points in this game, but I got a feeling he'll put his stamp on this thing before all is said and done. A 2-point lead for the Terriers as we count down to 6.5 minutes here in the first half.
Well, Colin Watson took Dominguez previously, and Richie Dominguez paid him back right there.
And the layup by Sandy. He is bodied on the play. I believe the foul is going to be on Corey Underwood.
Kurt Reese with a nice penetrate and dish play right there to Sandy. Reese, a solid point guard. Notice how he penetrates the middle. He's got his head up, able to see Sandy on the right side and dish it off. Underwood a little late getting back into the play. But Kurt Reese He's a good player. You got to remember, this Sacred Heart team has 4 double-figure scorers, Bill. So they've got some guys that can put the ball in the hoop.
Well, you know, you look at that, the season that they're having overall. I tell you what, you take some bona fide blue chippers off of this ball club as they did, throw in some injuries. When they started the season, they had 7 guys suiting up for the very first time in the Sacred Heart uniform. So it took a little while for these guys to get to know each other, and apparently they still are getting to know each other.
Well, they struggled. They had so many tough losses early. They've had 3 overtime losses, and they had 2 double overtime losses in their first 4 games. So they struggled early with some close games, and they just haven't recovered since then.
No, it's a different game up here in the Division I level. Underwood with the 3, no good. Welsh with the rebound. Now quickly to the front court. Watson for Sacred Heart. Working on Dominguez.
Well, they seem to want to go a little one-on-one.
What's going to happen? 4th Street will come out before it's over. Welsh in a terrible spot, shoots an air ball, but it's Reese to the rescue with the rebound. Now Kovalukas, he's used to shooting out there. Low down to Welsh. Now the quick pass to Watson for the reverse, and he's fouled.
Welsh, one more time with a nice pass, and Watson inside using his body to maneuver and look at this play right there. Could he have made this shot, Bill, or was he too tight under the hoop?
I think this is a bad foul. Watson had absolutely no place to go, but Dimbang comes and puts the body on him. The question we asked on Saturday, he's fluent in 4 languages, Marcel Dimbang, but can he say defense?
He thinks defense is what you build around D-House.
Watson's second free throw is good. We've got 10 points for the Mount Vernon High product and a 27-26 lead for Sacred Heart, looking for that first win on the road this year. Santana pops out. He can't find the mark. You know, you saw it after that shot. It was like, please go in.
Well, that was a quick shot, and it's tough to move away from the basket, catch and shoot from 22 feet. And that's what Angel Santana tried to do just then. He's got to be a little more selective, hope that he can get some clean looks where he can gather his feet, have a second to set, then he'll be able to knock it down.
Coming off a 1 for 13, you got to figure that maybe this is turning into a slump.
I don't think he'll stop shooting, though.
He better not. That's what the good shooters do. Reese to Kovalukas. He drives into the lane. Nice look, and trying to finish his Sandy. He can't. Comes down with the rebound around all the white shirts. Still can't get it to fall, but Dimbang pulls it down. And St. Francis on the run. Underwood sees the big man, says, I'll pull it out. Now down low to Howard. Howard working on Reese. Now to Dimbang. Back to Nunn. Nunn to Santana. Long 3 is good. Good ball movement by St. Francis.
Excellent ball movement. Angel Santana with a little more time to finger the seam and let it fly. The basket is opening up once again for Angel Santana.
Well, it's a sequence that begins with the good decision by Corey Underwood. Now Reese with the turnover. Here's Nunn. He's ahead of the pack. He lays it in. No, he doesn't lay it in. He missed the lay-in. Now quickly Welsh at the other end. Tried to get cute with the alley-oop to Watson, and he is fouled by Howard. How did Nunn miss that layup?
He's trying to figure that out right now himself, as is the rest of his teammates and the coaching staff at St. Francis.
A 51% shooter, and he gets a pat on the rear there. It's all right, Greg. You're going to get your shots.
Wide open breakaway. Then at the other end, Watson trying to finish off the alley-oop, but Stephen Howard says, you're not getting it that easy. If it's a loose ball up for grabs, I'm going after it too, but he gets called for the foul.
Watson with his first free throw, no good. It's going to be interesting to see as this game develops, because we haven't had the shot clock come into play yet. When it comes down to who's going to win this thing, it's going to be about who plays the better half-court defense. Colin Watson, second free throw, no good. So blown opportunities, bad free throw shooting in this game.
Yeah, that has really hurt Sacred Heart. They've gotten to the line, but they haven't been able to convert. They played a good first half.
And then again, you can't get it to fall. Howard with the rebound, the putback, and no basket. No basket. Corey Underwood with the offensive interference. Ball was in the cylinder, and he touched it.
If you're St. Francis, you think there are some Valentine's Day gremlins up on that rim knocking your shots off. Here we see Stephen Howard active to the offensive glass. Corey Underwood with another tip attempt, and neither one goes.
And a great call on that play by the trail official. Now pass to the corner. Reese trying to shake the unshakable Howard. Kovalukas, long three, no good. The rebound, Underwood, batted away by Watson. And we've got a TV timeout in this one. Still, the Pioneers hanging tough. They trail the Terriers by 2.
Dandruff, psoriasis, scalp dermatitis. If you ask all the dermatologists listed here to recommend a therapeutic shampoo, Neutrogena T-Gel would come out #1. T-Gel works on all 3 itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
Tony Gliozzo, sales rep with McNeil Consumer Products, rolls out this year's big seller. Robert Morris College, everything you need to prepare yourself for whatever comes next. Tracy Thompson, a consultant with Oracle Corporation, shows what you can get out of a top specialty business school. Robert Morris College, everything you need to prepare yourself for whatever comes next.
Dandruff, psoriasis, scalp dermatitis. If you ask all the dermatologists listed here to recommend a therapeutic shampoo, Neutrogena T-Gel would come out #1. T-Gel works on all 3 itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
To learn more about the Northeast Conference, you've got to visit our website. Of course, you see the lead here for the Terriers, but to learn more about the Northeast Conference, visit our website at www.northeastconference.org, the NEC on the net. Our stage manager all excited because she saw somebody in that shot that she thinks she knows from somewhere. Greg Nunn across the timeline now.
These last 3.5 minutes are crucial for Sacred Heart. They played very well here in the first half. They want to build off of that momentum. St. Francis is definitely forcing some things. Stephen Howard struggling to get going, but he'll be persistent. He stays after it and draws the foul.
Throwing up some terrible looking shots on the transition layup, and then what was that thing he just threw up there a couple of seconds ago? Take a look here.
Greg Nunn once again head up, always looking for his teammates. Howard very good moving without the ball, makes a hard cut, and Nunn delivers. Stephen Howard, you've got to really respect this young man. He works so hard. Ron Gagnon said the thing that impressed him the most when Stephen Howard started practicing at St. Francis was the fact that he worked hard every single day on offense and defense. Mr. Intensity for the St. Francis Terriers.
Well, no matter how ugly his shots are looking, he's got 10 points in this game for the Terriers. Of course, coming off that great effort against UMBC on Saturday as Marcel Dimbang checks back into the game. And Howard converts on the second free throw. He's got 11 points in the game.
The pride of Watertown High School.
And don't forget Jefferson Community College. Now Sandy working on Underwood. And he gets it to Welch. Long jumper, Watson. It's the bottom of the net on the outside. Now it's Nunn trying to dribble through pressure, gets it to Santana. No good. Crashing the boards, Dimbang, but he comes up empty. It's Watson with the rebound.
Crucial miss for the Terriers right there. That would have opened it up, would have made it a 7-point game, but right there, good defense. Marcel Dimbang working to get position, draw the offensive foul. Real good play by Marcel Dimbang.
Kovalukas now, he's got problems with his left ankle. He had an ankle problem earlier this season, had to miss some time. And on that play, a bad play by him. There's no two ways about it. You can talk all you want about the defensive Dimbang, but it was a bad play, a bad pass. He got out of control, and now his ankle is bothering him. Did I see Timothy Rollison in the game? You know where he went to school?
Well, tell me Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon High in the house. There he is with the ball, driving, kicking it to Underwood.
Ron Gagnon giving everybody a look on the Terrier bench today.
Rollison likes to shoot, and he stepped on the out-of-bounds line. a 1/4 inch wide, and some of it caught the back of his sneakers.
Players are so conscious of that three-point line. They want to catch the ball beyond the three-point line that you see that more and more. Good players with a sense of where they are on the floor avoid that kind of careless turnover.
Now Reese to Yannick Tuffle. Down low, and Watson is fouled. So Watson going back to the free throw line. The foul was on Greg Nunn. Take a look at the pass down low.
Quick pass into Watson. You saw the quick cut across the lane. Watson, an impressive wingman right here. Quick enough to move hard without the ball. Is able to drive to the basket some too. He has got to be more disciplined in trying to do some damage close to the basket instead of drifting away from the hoop.
Now the free throw is good as Max Yokokono checks into the ball game.
Max Yokono from Cameroon and Marcel Dimbang, both from Cameroon.
They had a little pregame meeting before we got going here tonight as Watson makes his second. 31-29 as we count down to 2 minutes here in the first half. Santana, three ball, good. Over Watson.
That was a great play by Angel Santana. He faked as if he was going to go out the other side of the floor and came right back and lost his defender, was able to catch and shoot.
Now Rolison with the good hands, can't control. Down low, Yokono is fouled.
Max Yokono, big, strong body, still developing a feel for the game, a little inexperienced, but has the kind of physique to catch and draw fouls if he gets it around the hoop.
Corey Underwood with his second personal. Yokono, and this is interesting, now he's listed as 6'7" and 225. I don't mean in any way to disparage Kurt Ilver, but the scorecard says Ilver is 6'8" and 225.
He doesn't have Max's arms, that's for sure.
It's a different 225 that Max is carrying there. Yokono in the books, and he misses that second free throw. Got a lane violation, so it will go to St. Francis. Minute 46 to play here in this first half as Stephen Howard checks back into the game for St. Francis.
St. Francis with a small lineup on the floor. Rollerson and Nunn in as the backcourt. Looking to set up Angel Santana once again.
Santana with the head fake and can't get the shot to fall. He's a guy, he's got to spot up in his rhythm. If he's got to make any fake or be moved either way, the slightest inch, that shot's not going.
Well, he's hunting for shots, and that's not his game right now. He's got to wait and be patient. Let shots come to him as opposed to hunting them down.
Good look down low and a nice reverse layup by Yannick Tuffle.
Pretty feed from Watson up top. He shows us something else on that play with his head up and the ability to deliver to a cutter.
Nunn with the crossover, but his shot is rejected. Shot was blocked by Yokono. Now at the other end, bounce pass to Welch. Kicks it out to Tuffle. His shot won't go. Tapped around. Yokono with the putback. No good. Welch with the bucket. And now we've got a tie game.
Sacred Heart showing some resiliency tonight. Some persistence. Active on the glass. Ron Gagnon has to be concerned. His team has sleepwalked through a few opportunities to extend the lead here in the first half, and now they find themselves in a tie ball game.
Rolison, long three is good. Timothy Rolison from Mount Vernon. I was on him before the game. That's right. I was on him before the game, Brad, and he says if I get in there, I'm going to make something happen, and he gives his team a 3-point lead as we count it down to the final seconds here of the first half. Now Reese, shot clock turned off. We're down to 5. Reese looking to create something. Bad pass to Yokono. Now Nunn, long bomb, hits the back wall as time runs out. A great first half of basketball. A little sloppy but entertaining nonetheless. At the half, the Terriers of St. Francis lead the Pioneers of Sacred Heart 37-34. Tim Capstraw standing by with Ron Gagnon.
Ron, you played a lot of different combinations tonight. Were you not satisfied with the effort early on?
Yeah, I think we were lethargic, but you got to give them credit. They're coming out hard, ready to play, and we're sort of, just going through the motions, doing things that we usually don't do, just out of context, things out of context.
Boy, you missed a lot of easy opportunities around the hoop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think we're doing things like trying to draw the foul rather than just make the shot. We want to do too many spectacular things. We've been on the road. Now we're home. They're playing a little bit to the crowd. We'll see what we can straighten out at halftime.
Okay. Back to you, Bill.
Thanks, Tim Capstraw. Marius Kovalukas walked by us limping. He doesn't look too promising for the second half. St. Francis by 3 at intermission.
Northlands, home of the largest miniature railway on Earth, plus doll museum, 94-room dollhouse, and theater pipe organ.
This is just a small part of what you'll see here at Northlands.
Northlands, Flemington, New Jersey. You've got to see it to believe it.
The fast-paced excitement and energy of the world's fastest-growing game is captured on all 3 levels of the Basketball Hall of Fame. The Hall brings the history of the game and today's superstars together in one exciting place. Try your free throw skills at the Spalding Shootout. Go one-on-one with Bill Walton at the Boston Garden in a virtual reality game. See over 4,000 exhibits and artifacts from all levels of the game, amateur and pro. A great entertainment value at one low admission price. The Basketball Hall of Fame. You'll have a ball.
9. In 1939, RCA introduced television to the public at the World's Fair. Color came to television in 1954 with RCA's Farm. Digital satellite TV became a thing. The future of television is high definition, 6 times sharper.
The people who brought you the television now bringing the next generation, making television as exciting as it was the very first time. RCA, changing entertainment again.
Homeowners, call Garden State Brick Base Windows and Exteriors and get a new house without having to move or spend a fortune. That's right. You can give your home a new look and feel, any look you desire. And it just takes one phone call. For years, we've been beautifying thousands of area homes, making them more energy efficient while increasing their value. Brick, stucco, stone, siding, and windows. Quality craftsmanship, most work done within a week. All maintenance-free and fully guaranteed. Let us help you design the perfect look for your home. Call Garden State Brick Base Windows and Exteriors. To find out if our unique products are right for you, call now for a free telephone consultation. It just takes a few minutes. There's absolutely no obligation. 100% financing available. So why wait when a simple call can get you a great new house without spending a fortune? Call 1-800-238-1400 and ask about our current special discounts. Shop from home with our exclusive free telephone consultation. Call 1-800-238-1400.
Northlands, home of the largest miniature railway on Earth, plus doll museum, 94-room dollhouse, and theater pipe organ.
This is just a small part of what you'll see here at Northlands.
Northlands, Flemington, New Jersey. You've got to see it to believe it.
Here's time St. Francis with a 3-point lead at the half. Time now for a special Valentine's Day edition of Holding Court.
Tim Capstraw here with a very special Valentine's Day edition of Holding Court. I'm here with Richie Dominguez of St. Francis, New York, by way of Choco, Columbia, and Tim Welch of Sacred Heart University, by way of Narragansett, Rhode Island. And fellas, got to warm you up with a couple easy ones here. We're not going to go overboard too soon. Tim, Valentine's Day, named after whom?
I believe it was St. Valentine's.
Very good, very good. Catholic school, good answer there, pal. Start easy with you, Rich. How many teams in the Final Four? Four. Quattro. Nice touch. All right, okay. All right. Hey, Tim, a little serious now here. The move from Division II to Division I hasn't been easy. Talk about it a little bit.
Well, we're in our first year of Division I, so obviously you're going to take our lumps from some of the teams that had Division I talent in there before. I think it's a good move, though, for the school. A lot of publicity to the school. We have a brand new facility. A lot more students. The enrollment's getting larger, so I think it's a good move for the school overall. And I think it's just a matter of 2-3 years before we're in the hunt with these guys.
No question. Hey, Richie, you won 8 in a row. How do you stop the Terriers? You guys are on fire.
It's too hard to stop us. I don't think nobody can stop us. We stop ourselves, and it's gonna be hard to stop us. I don't think nobody in the nation could.
All right. Well, in honor of Valentine's Day, fellas, I put together a really special bilingual poem for you guys to dedicate. Tim, who would you like to dedicate this poem to?
Dedicated is Brooke, back at Sacred Heart.
Nice touch. Go to Brooke. How about you, Richie? Who are you going to dedicate it to?
I dedicate it to my son, Ricardo Jr.
Ricardo, oh, beautiful. And Tim, we're going to start with you, baby. Start it off.
Roses are red.
Flores son rojas.
Violets are blue.
Violetas son azules.
When I dunk,
cuando clavo la bola,
I think of you.
Yo pienso en ti.
Another beautiful version of Holden Court.
Hi, Mom.
Beautiful indeed with lots of love, but it is Sacred Heart hanging tough at intermission.
Delta Shuttle. Your seat is guaranteed, or you get a free ticket.
Labor ready, dependable temporary labor.
Dandruff, psoriasis, scalp dermatitis. If you ask all the dermatologists listed here to recommend a therapeutic shampoo, Neutrogena T-Gel would come out #1. T-Gel works on all 3 itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
Tom and Audrey Darcy just bought 21 acres, on which they planned to build their dream house. But if they had professional advice, they may have invested differently, and they'd break ground a lot sooner.
See how advice and timely research can help you reach your goals. Call Solomon Smith Barney at 1-800-EARNS-IT, extension 309, and get your free special report, Top Picks 2000. You'll find the top stock picks of our award-winning research analysts in over 90 industries. Our outlook on the economy and interest rates. Which stocks we believe will offer the most earnings growth potential in 2000, and which will benefit from developing trends. See how to be a better investor in the new millennium. Call 1-800-EARNS-IT, extension 309 for your special report today. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Hey, sports fans, listen up. Is your family looking for the coolest thing to do? Then take them to see New Jersey Red Dogs Arena Football. It's a football frenzy with high-scoring killer hits. And a kid's season pass is just $19. That's the best family bargain in town. So if you're tired of the same old thing, we have just one question. Has your family gone to the Dogs? New Jersey Red Dogs Arena Football. Call 888-RED-DOGS today.
Dandruff, psoriasis, scalp dermatitis. If you ask all the dermatologists listed here to recommend a therapeutic shampoo, Neutrogena T-Gel would come out #1. T-Gel works on all 3 itchy, flaky scalp conditions. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
At the half, St. Francis 37, Sacred Heart 34. It's a special Valentine's Day edition of the NEC Notebook. We begin tonight by looking at the guys. Well, it's Valentine's Day. Let's see who's doing the scoring. Robert Morris guard Gene Neighbors leading the NEC at 17.2 points per game. He's shooting it up, firing in big style this season. And of course, you want to steal somebody's heart on Valentine's Day, but Rick Mickens of CCSU, he leads the league in steals overall at 3.7 per game. Mickens also among the league scoring leaders. Let's take a look at the teams that do the best shooting. Quinnipiac, the Braves, they lead the way at 46.3% from the field. 2 guys that have had a big hand in doing that this year. Ivory Stanley in the front line, and big center Bill Romano also helping the Braves score the big points. FDU, they are on fire. They're rolling after wins against Quinnipiac and Central Connecticut State. The Knights with the big win this week, ending the Blue Devils' 15-game winning streak. Take a look at the standings in the men's bracket. CCSU, despite their loss, still way in front. St. Francis, though, keeping the heat on. In St. Francis of Pennsylvania, they lead the second division teams. Mount St. Mary trying to hold on to a playoff spot. With the women's standings, Mount St. Mary and St. Francis still in front. Monmouth and Sacred Heart and Wagner all nipping at their heels. LIU, Robert Morris, and CCSU trying to close out the rest of the playoff field. Big NEC action tomorrow and Thursday. Tuesday, it's the Battle of Maryland with Mount St. Mary's and UMBC. Thursday, St. Francis and FDU, and CCSU and Robert Morris. Big games on the Thursday schedule. Next Saturday, Mount St. Mary, the Mountaineers, led by Gregory Harris, pay a visit to Wagner. It'll be Jermaine Hall leading the way for the Seahawks on MSG Network. Don't forget our internet game of the week, Thursday, UMBC and Wagner, and the 24th, CCSU going against the Wagner Seahawks. And, of course, it all wraps up with the NEC Men's Tournament in Trenton, New Jersey. That's this week's NEC Notebook. Sacred Heart looking for that first road win of the season. At the half, they're down by 3 against St. Francis of New York.
Quinnipiac College in Hamden, Connecticut, providing the highest quality education in business, health, communication, education, and law. Quinnipiac College Athletics features 18 NCAA Division I sports for men and women. Our student athletes are challenged by world-class competition in the prestigious Northeast Conference. And our outstanding intramural and recreation programs serve the majority of our 6,000 students. Quinnipiac College, preparing today's student athletes to become tomorrow's leaders.
The University of Maryland, Baltimore County is the total package. UMBC is ideally located just off I-95 in suburban Baltimore, 10 miles from downtown. UMBC is large enough to provide excellent training and research opportunities, yet small enough for close faculty-student intervention. From visible President Freeman Hrabowski to a diverse student population to supportive alumni, there are people at UMBC who make things happen. UMBC is clearly a campus on the move.
Can you walk like a penguin? Put your hands together and rock from side to side. When you walk like a penguin, don't be in a hurry, 'cause the groove's gotta feel just right. And if you can't remember how it's done, check it out at the aquarium, or you'll be walking like a penguin. Shake it, shake it, shake it like a penguin.
Seize the opportunity at Fairleigh Dickinson University, a leading private university with more than 100 degree programs. FDU has 2 campuses in northern New Jersey, each with its own distinctive resources and environment. FDU is building on a tradition of excellence, boldly investing in facilities and technology, and establishing innovative programs. We're giving our students the tools to make their dreams come true.
RCA Victor. Do not try to adjust the picture. There is nothing wrong with your TV. A new form of television is here. High definition. Up to 6 times sharper than current analog technology. The people who brought you TV, the color TV, and digital satellite TV welcome you to HD TV. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television. We've just made a better one.
Dave Bike's team showing lots of heart here on St. Valentine's Day, and it is Dave Bike, the Sacred Heart coach, standing by with Tim Capstraw.
Dave, 14 turnovers, but you didn't break.
Right, Timmy, and you know, we talked before the game. I'm proud of the guys that we kept coming at them, and you know, St. Francis puts an awful lot of pressure on you, so you got to give them credit for some of those turnovers.
No question about it. Not many touches for Tim Welch. How do you get him more involved?
Well, again, if we have to, hopefully we won't turn it over 14 times. And, yeah, we need him to touch it. We need him to score a little bit. And, you know, again, I hope the half goes similar to the first, but we just got to be a little bit better. That's all.
Thanks a lot. Okay, back to you, Bill.
Well, Brad Greenberg, it's been a very interesting first half. Lots of turnovers, but as Dave said, that pressure of St. Francis, they have to handle that if they're going to survive this thing.
Well, they got very lucky. St. Francis had 10 steals in the first half, but did not convert off of those steals. St. Francis only shot 32% from the field. Sacred Heart did a nice job shooting 46% from the field. So St. Francis has got to get their game a little sharper if they want to win tonight.
Let's take a look at some of those highlights from the first half. Colin Watson, a recurring theme here in the first half.
Watson has the quickness to penetrate to the basket, and he's active enough without the ball to get to the offensive glass for putbacks. Colin Watson, a bright spot for Sacred Heart in the first half.
And take a look at our first half summary. Stephen Howard first getting some offense in this game.
Well, Stephen Howard is a scorer. He came through with 11 in the first half, averaging 17.2 on the season. A tough one-on-one player.
And the game summary, you see Watson and Howard right there, 1 and 2 in the scoring department. 3-point field goals, St. Francis doing their thing. They cannot be allowed to do that if Sacred Heart has any designs on winning this game, Brad.
Well, St. Francis shot poorly, but 7 of their 12 field goals were from beyond the 3-point arc, and that has given them this 3-point lead.
Well, we get ready to get underway here in the second half at Pope Center in Brooklyn, New York. Bill Daughtry, Brad Greenberg, and Tim Capstraw bringing you all the bonus coverage this week. An extra NEC game of the week. And Howard starting the second half with a bang, the layup, and St. Francis with a 5-point lead. There were 7 lead changes, by the way, in the first half of this game.
Well, Stephen Howard's eyes got real big when he saw Tim Welch on him, and Welch, for some reason, backed away, gave him a wide-open drive left to the hoop.
Now Welch with a strong move, can't finish it. Rebound blocked as it was put back by Devin Johnson, and he caught his own rejection. Now it's none at the other end. Looking for Dominguez with a strong move, can't finish. And coming away with it is Santana. Now St. Francis will pull it out. Greg Nunn says let's run that offense, fellas.
St. Francis needs to score to set up their press. That is a thing to watch here in the second half. Can they make enough field goals, get the full court pressure on, and create some steals?
Richie Dominguez with the move in the post, and he draws the foul to start the second half. The foul on Michael Sandy. It's his second.
The Terriers are explosive. Sacred Heart has to keep control of the game. They have to be concerned about tempo. They don't want St. Francis to get on a run.
Dave Bike's guys played pretty decent man-to-man defense in the first half. It will be tough to duplicate that here in the second half. They don't have the depth that St. Francis does, but let's see how it unfolds. Nunn with the drive and the layup. He made that one.
The defense was hesitant to help out, fearing Greg Nunn dishing off for a dunk. He was able to get all the way to the rim, and he made that layup that time.
Take a second look at it.
Nunn with a little change of direction and pace dribble, going hard to his right and using the right hand to finish off that drive. Good use of his weak hand to complete the play.
Sacred Heart had a little trouble getting it in, but they do, and now it's Sandy in the front court, defended by Dominguez. To the round to Watson. Terriers with a 7-point lead in this ball game.
Sacred Heart starts a big lineup here in the second half.
Dominguez with the steal and goes crashing into the Sacred Heart bench, but looks like he's all right. Just a white shirt sitting among a bunch of reds. Take a look at how Richie finds a seat on the visiting bench.
He makes a seat.
Not exactly musical chairs, ball batted away out of the low box. They were looking for Tim.